Welcome to Let's Talk Events. I'm Andy Radig from Oshkosh Media. Let's take a look at some of the events and activities happening this spring here in Oshkosh. Joining me is Kathy Snell, the Special Events Coordinator for the City of Oshkosh. And Kathy, welcome. Glad you could be here today.
Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for having me out again.
Absolutely. We're here at Rainbow Park, and I understand we have a lot of events coming up in this location this summer.
We do. This location tends to get a little bit of an oversight just because of the location. However, we do have several events that have occurred here over the years. In fact, the Oshkosh Marathon, half marathon, has been coming through this area for quite some time as a part of their route. So with the new trail and the Four Seasons building over at Lakeshore Park, it kind of ties it right into Rainbow Park now. Mm-hmm. It's a great location.
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, there's so much that you can do here. Are there other events that are planned for Rainbow Park coming up this spring?
We do. We have a couple of different events coming through this area. Fishing tournaments tend to use this area. We've got bass tournaments that launch out of here typically. And then also later this year, we'll be talking about the Elks Sheephead Fishing Tournament that always happens outside of Rainbow Park launch area as well. We're going to have lots of fishing tournaments, arts and craft fairs, a variety of different events happening in May, which kind of kicks off our year of events. The Oshkosh Payne Art Center and Gardens will also host their annual Festival of Spring, which will be an art and craft fair, food, lots of garden type crafts and lawn sculptures that will be located at the Payne Art Center. Across the way, just across Algoma Boulevard at the Public Museum, will be the Oshkosh Garden Club's plant sale. So they kind of do that in conjunction. Everything's kind of plants and spring and garden and all of those things all wrapped in one.
Sure, that's a long-standing event, and it's one of those marks of spring that really gets us excited to get our gardens going. So it's fun to hear that that's coming up.
Yes, it'll be good again. They again had a little bit of construction last year,
sure.
So they'll be back to their normal setup as they were previously.
Okay. And I imagine that we have some other outdoor events that are planned for the spring?
We also have the fishing tournaments coming in. One of them that I would love to mention is we have the National Walleye Tour coming through Oshkosh this year. Every year they select different locations. They've taken a bit of a hiatus. They have not been to Oshkosh in about 4 years. But we are looking at having them back, and that's going to be in May as well, mid-May, 17th and 18th, I believe, are the dates. That'll be hosted down at Menominee Park. It's a premier fishing tournament. Those anglers can come out and try and catch those walleyes out of Lake Winnebago.
Okay. They probably held the event in other locations the last 4 years, but it sure is good to have them back in Oshkosh.
It is, and from what we've heard, they enjoy being here. It's just a matter of not going to the same lakes and communities from year to year.
Okay, all right, very good. And then I think we might have some other events that are connected with Memorial Day?
We do. Just before Memorial Day, Saturday kicks off the Hoagie's Walleye Tournament, so another fishing tournament that'll be hosted right at Menominee Park. This is more of a local tournament, kind of, again, a kickoff to the Memorial Day weekend. We will also have the Hmong National Memorial Day Festival out at Sunnyview Expo Center. That's been also a long-standing event. That is a 2-day event out at Sunnyview and in the community park out there.
Okay. And then I know that the Memorial Day procession is also an annual event, and that is planned again for this year, I would imagine?
Yes, all of those activities will be the same as they have been in the past. So we'll have the Memorial Day procession on the 29th of May. That will be hosted in the location previous to last year.
Okay.
So last year was another construction project on Algoma. This year that is all good to go, and we are having the Memorial Day procession starting at Jackson and Algoma intersection by City Hall, and they'll travel down to Riverside Cemetery for their final ceremonies. Prior to that, we'll continue to have those ceremonies as they have in the past. So at 7 a.m. will be the reading of the names in South Park at the War Monument. At 8 a.m. we will have the laying of the wreath at Riverside Park. and then people can come down for the procession at 9 a.m.
Okay, and so the procession is basically the route that it traditionally was, going down Algoma Boulevard from City Hall to Riverside Cemetery.
That is correct.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
And just a side note, just a shameless plug, that Oshkosh Media will be televising that event. So once again, we're happy to bring that to residents, and folks can watch for that on Oshkosh Media Gov TV. Okay, well, is there anything else that you'd like to share? I know that it's a busy season probably for you. You have a lot going on.
We do. Spring is a good time where everybody starts thinking about the events they want to host for the year. Our plug, please make sure to get that planning started. We do ask at least a minimum of 60 days in advance of events to have those special event permits in. The sooner the better. The quicker that we can get on top of things and start making those plans, we can start talking about other potential construction projects that might have to be kind of worked around.
Okay, and I'm sure that folks, if they have questions about that whole process, if they're not quite sure about it, they can always reach out to you and get all the details.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. Anything else you'd like to share? How can people learn anything more about these events if they want to dig a little deeper and learn a little bit more?
You bet. Always be sure to check out the Visit Oshkosh or Discover Oshkosh Now page. That has a list of calendar of events for events all throughout Oshkosh.
Okay, very good. And I know that the Parks Department has a lot of events coming up and all sorts of things. People can watch the Oshkosh Parks Department Facebook page for updates on those events, and as well as all the other events that are happening in the city. So, Kathy, thanks a lot for sharing all this new info with us today. We appreciate you being here.
Great, thank you.
And thank you for joining us today. Join us again for another Let's Talk Events the next time.